Hey everyone, welcome back to Echoes of History. It's your boy Leonardo. Just kidding, it's just me, your host. But today we're diving into the life of the one and only Leonardo da Vinci. Now, I know what you're thinking. Leonardo da Vinci, isn't he that guy who painted like one smile? First of all, hilarious. But also, get ready to have your minds blown because today we're uncovering the hilarious and quirky side of this Renaissance rock star that they don't teach you in art history class. We're talking side-splitting, brush-dropping, paint water-spitting facts that'll have you saying, wait, seriously? So buckle up, art fans, history buffs, and lovers of all things hilarious, because we're about to get our learn on with the most unexpected comedian of the Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci. First up, let's talk about Leonardo's resume, because this guy could do it all. I mean, we're talking painter, sculptor, architect, musician, inventor, scientist, anatomist, geologist, cartographer, botanist, and writer. Phew! I get tired just reading that. Seriously, this guy makes the phrase Renaissance man seem like an understatement. He was like the original multi-hyphenate. Can you imagine Leonardo in the modern world? He'd be that guy who crushes it at every single thing he tries. Pottery class? He'd throw the most exquisite vase you've ever seen. Cooking show? He'd invent a brand new dish and paint the most delicious food portrait to go with it. And don't even get me started on his Instagram. It would be a curated masterpiece of art, inventions, and maybe even some hilarious cooking fails because, hey, even geniuses mess up sometimes. I can just picture him now, rocking up to a job interview and being like, so, you need someone who can paint the Sistine Chapel, design a flying machine, and whip up a mean batch of pasta? Yeah, I can do that. Talk about overqualified. Honestly, it's kind of intimidating. It makes my ability to draw stick figures look pathetic in comparison. But hey, that's Leonardo for you, always setting the bar impossibly high. Alright, next up, we've got a fun fact that's near and dear to my heart. Leonardo was left-handed. That's right, folks, he was a southpaw, a lefty, a member of the club. Now, back in the Renaissance, being left-handed wasn't exactly considered cool. In fact, it was often seen as a sign of the devil, or worse, clumsiness. Can you imagine the pressure? Oh, you're left-handed, Leonardo? So you must be some kind of artistic demon, right? But Leonardo didn't let the haters get him down. He embraced his left-handedness and used it to create some of the most iconic masterpieces in history. Talk about a power move. He probably even used it to his advantage, like, oh, you think I can't paint that delicate smile with my left hand? Hold my grape juice, I'm about to prove you wrong. Boom, Mona Lisa. It just goes to show you folks that being different is awesome. So, to all my fellow lefties out there, embrace your unique talents. And to all the righties, well, keep practicing, you'll get there someday. You know how some people have those perfectly organized sketchbooks filled with beautiful drawings and inspirational quotes? Well, Leonardo was not one of those people. This guy was the ultimate sketchbook hoarder. I'm talking notebooks overflowing with scribbles, diagrams, and ideas. You name it, he sketched it. We're talking flying machines, war machines, anatomical drawings, maps, and even grocery lists. Okay, maybe not grocery lists, but you get the idea. The man had a lot on his mind, and he wasn't afraid to put it all down on paper. Can you imagine if Leonardo had Instagram today? His feed would be a wild ride. One minute you're looking at a detailed sketch of the human heart, the next you're trying to decipher a note written in mirror image, and then, BAM! A selfie with a cat! He'd probably be that guy who starts a million different projects and never finishes them. Like, oh yeah, I'm working on this new invention. It's a self-portrait robot that paints while I sleep. It's gonna be huge, I just need to finish sketching out the design, and maybe invent a time machine so I can actually get it all done. Chapter 4. Mona Lisa's Mystery. Let's be real, folks, no discussion about Leonardo da Vinci is complete without mentioning the Mona Lisa. She's the Beyoncé of the art world, the Queen Bee, the OG influencer with that mysterious smile that's launched 1,000 interpretations. Seriously, is she happy, sad, thinking about what to eat for dinner? No one knows. Some say she's smirking because Leonardo told a hilarious joke. Others think she's just trying to hold in a sneeze. And then, there are those who believe she's hiding a deep, dark secret. Personally, I like to think she's just trying to figure out what all the fuss is about. I mean, she's just chilling, posing for a portrait, and suddenly, she's the most famous painting in the world. Talk about pressure. But hey, that's the beauty of the Mona Lisa, right? She keeps us guessing, she sparks our imagination, and she makes us wonder if Leonardo knew just how iconic that smile would become. Chapter 5, Artistic Multitasker. Okay, so we all know that Leonardo was a genius, but here's the thing, he was also a notorious multitasker. And by multitasker, I mean he started a million projects at once and rarely finished them. I'm talking about half-painted masterpieces, inventions scribbled on napkins and notebooks filled with ideas that never quite made it off the page. He was like the human embodiment of a browser with 1,000 tabs open. Can you imagine being his assistant? Leonardo, what should I work on today? Ah yes, well, I need you to finish painting the background of The Last Supper, but first, I need you to test out this new flying machine design. And if you have time, maybe you could start sketching out my plans for a self-filling wine glass. Oh, and don't forget to water the plants. It's no wonder the man never slept. He was too busy chasing after the next brilliant idea. Chapter 6, Vegetarian Artist. Hold on to your paintbrushes, folks, because this next fact might surprise you. Leonardo da Vinci was a vegetarian. That's right, the man who painted the most famous depiction of a Last Supper didn't actually eat meat. I know, right? It's like finding out that Mozart hated music or that Shakespeare couldn't read. It just doesn't compute. But according to historical records, Leonardo was a passionate advocate for animal rights and believed in living a cruelty-free lifestyle. He even wrote about his love for animals in his notebooks. Can you imagine him at a Renaissance potluck? Leonardo, what did you bring? Oh, just a simple lentil stew. I made it myself. No animals were harmed in the making of this deliciousness. Talk about a Renaissance rebel. Okay, get this. Leonardo wrote his notes in reverse, like from right to left, so you'd need a mirror to read them. Talk about extra. Some people think he did it to keep his invention secret, you know, like a Renaissance patent. Others say he was just showing off his ambidexterity. I mean, the man could write backwards with his left hand. That's some serious talent right there. Can you imagine trying to borrow his notes? Hey Leo, can I get a peek at your notes on human anatomy? I'm trying to, pass this exam. Sure, just hold them up to a mirror. A mirror? Why, oh right, I forgot to mention I write backwards. Just to keep things interesting. Chapter 8. Curious Animal Lover. If there's one thing Leonardo loved as much as art and invention, it was animals. I'm talking dogs, cats, birds, you name it. He was a true Renaissance animal whisperer. There are even stories about him buying caged birds just to set them free. Can you imagine that? Leonardo, where are you going with all those birds? Oh, just going for a walk. Get some fresh air, release some feathered friends back into the wild. The man was basically a one-man animal rescue operation. He probably had a whole menagerie of pets, a loyal dog named Brushstroke, a mischievous cat named Palette, and maybe even a pet lizard named Sfumato, after his famous painting technique. Chapter 9. The Da Vinci Disguise. Now you'd think being a famous artist would be all fun and games, right? But even Leonardo needed a break from the spotlight sometimes. That's why he would often disguise himself while walking through Florence. I'm talking fake beards, hats pulled low over his eyes, the whole shebang. He was like the original Clark Kent. Can you imagine running into him on the street? Excuse me, sir, haven't I seen you somewhere before? You look awfully familiar. Me? No, you must be mistaken. I'm just a humble baker, selling my wares. Meanwhile, he's got a paintbrush tucked behind his ear, and a notebook full of sketches hidden under his cloak. Chapter 10. Artist as Inventor. Last but not least, let's talk about Leonardo's inventions, because this is where things get really wild. I mean, we're talking about a guy who designed a helicopter, centuries before the first one ever took flight. He also sketched out plans for tanks, submarines, and even robots. This guy was like a one-man Renaissance tech startup. Can you imagine if he'd had the resources and technology we have today? We'd be flying around in Da Vinci-designed spaceships and having our portraits painted by robot assistants. He was centuries ahead of his time, a true visionary who saw the potential for innovation in everything. And that, my friends, is what makes Leonardo da Vinci such an enduring legend. And there you have it, folks, some fun and funny facts about Leonardo da Vinci. From being a multi-talented genius to a quirky animal lover, he certainly knew how to keep life interesting. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more hilarious historical explorations. What's your favorite funny fact about Leonardo? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep creating and keep laughing.
If you found this exploration of history illuminating, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Let us continue to learn from the past together.